All right, so today, let's really dive into something I think pretty fascinating. Um, teacup pigs.
Oh, yeah?
You know, like all those like little
Mhm.
cuties you see online.
Uh,
Snuggle up in the teacup.
right.
So cute. Um, what are we gonna kind of like separate fact from fiction? See what it really takes
Yeah.
to have one of these as a pet.
And that's where it gets interesting, right? Because our main source is this website for Angel Enterprise Farm.
Okay.
It's a breeder in Florida, and they actually admit that this whole teacup pig thing
Huh.
is mostly just to attract people searching for tiny pigs.
Right.
Think about it. Would you have clicked on this deep dive if it was called Medium-Sized Pig Realities?
No, no, I wouldn't have. That's hilarious
All
and
right.
kind of genius. But
Right.
it also makes you think 90,000 searches a month for teacup pig.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people maybe getting the wrong idea.
Exactly. The website even says these pigs grow to be about the size of a Cocker Spaniel or a Bulldog.
Oh, wow.
So not exactly pocket-sized.
Yeah.
And that's just an average. A pig's size depends a lot on
Right.
what it eats, just like us.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me I can't just give a pig all the
Whoa.
pizza crusts and leftover mac and cheese at once. What
What?
do they eat?
Well, pigs are omnivores, which means they need a varied diet.
Okay.
Protein, fiber, vitamins, minerals. Think of it like a balanced meal plan,
Right.
but for a pig. And there's commercially prepared pig feed you can get. It's specifically formulated to meet their needs. And you can supplement with fresh fruits and veggies.
So that's good. Okay, so responsible pig ownership already sounds a bit more complicated
Yeah, a little bit.
than I initially imagined. But I have to admit, I'm even more intrigued now.
Good.
So tell me more about their personalities.
Yeah.
The website mentions they love tummy rubs and snuggling,
Oh, yeah, they do.
but also that you need to earn their respect. What's
Yeah.
that about?
Right. And that's a big part of understanding pigs. They're so intelligent, often compared to like a 3-year-old child, the age where they're testing boundaries, figuring things out.
Yeah.
But this intelligence also means they can do really amazing things. You might be surprised to learn that pigs can actually recognize themselves in a mirror, which is a sign of self-awareness.
Wow.
Not all animals have that.
That's fascinating. So they're not just cute faces. There's a lot going on upstairs.
A lot going on,
The
yeah.
website compares them to dogs in some ways. Says they don't bark or spread rabies.
That's good.
That's very good. But also that they need a different approach to training.
Right, yeah. And one of the things that really surprised me on the website was
Yeah.
they said that pig waste is easier to clean than dog droppings.
Hold up. I saw that too, and I need you to explain this one. How can that be true?
Well, it turns out pigs are naturally very clean animals. They don't like to soil their living space,
Okay.
which makes them surprisingly easy to house train. And with some patience and consistency, you can even teach them to use a litter box just like a cat.
Oh, wow. I never would have guessed that. So you're telling me they're smart, cuddly, A&D clean.
Huh.
Okay, I'm officially hooked on this whole pig as a pet idea. But let's get real for a second. Most people interested in these teacup pigs probably already have other pets. So can pigs like peacefully live with, say, dogs?
That's where things get a little trickier. And the website has some important warnings about this. They emphasize that you should always supervise pig-dog interactions,
Okay.
even if they seem friendly,
Right.
because dogs have those predatory instincts,
Right.
and even a playful nip from a small dog could seriously injure a piglet.
So no unsupervised play dates for the pig and the chihuahua. Got it. But what about like introducing a pig to a multi-pet household? Any tips from the experts?
Well, it's all about careful introductions and understanding animal body language.
Okay.
You need to remember that dogs and pigs communicate differently.
Right.
What might seem like playful behavior to a dog could be perceived as a threat by a pig, and vice versa.
Oh.
So you gotta go slow, be patient, and create a safe environment for everyone.
Makes sense. It's like you're creating a whole new family dynamic.
Yeah.
You have to be mindful of each animal's personality and needs.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered personality, diet, even potty training.
Mm.
What else should someone know before they go full babe and bring home a piglet?
Well, you know how the website talks about all these different teacup pig types, mini Julianas, micro minis, and so on.
Right.
You have to be careful with those terms. They're not officially recognized breeds, and there's no guarantee of size.
Oh, really?
It's more about the breeder's marketing strategy.
So even if you find a breeder who's upfront about the whole teacup myth,
Right.
you still need to be cautious about the labeling of different pig variety.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that a lot of the focus in teacup pig breeding is on aesthetics. Breeders are highlighting specific physical traits
Okay.
to meet customer demand.
That makes me think, are we potentially doing a disservice to these animals by trying to fit them into our human idea of a cute pet? It seems like there's a lot more to consider here than just finding the smallest, most adorable piglet.
That's a really insightful point, and it leads us into a deeper discussion about the ethics of pig ownership.
Right.
Are we meeting their needs, or are we imposing our own desires on them?
I think that's a perfect place to pause for now. We've covered a lot of ground already, and it's clear that responsible pig ownership is much more complex
It is.
and nuanced than those cute teacup pig pictures online might suggest.
Absolutely. There's a whole world of fascinating information to uncover
Yeah.
about pigs and what it truly means to give them a good life.
So if you're as intrigued as I am, stay tuned because we're just getting started. We'll be back to delve deeper into those ethical considerations and the unique challenges and rewards of pig companionship. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we were talking about how this whole teacup pig trend might be more about what we want as humans than what's best for the pigs themselves.
Yeah, that's a really crucial point, and it gets to the heart of responsible pet ownership, right? Like, are we even equipped to provide these pigs with the kind of life they deserve?
You know, it's interesting because the website we're looking at, Angel Enterprise Farm,
Hmm.
they actually do touch on this.
Oh.
They say you need to do your research and even check your local zoning laws
Oh, wow.
because pigs aren't allowed everywhere.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I thought that speaks volumes about the breeder.
Yeah, I think so too.
They're not just trying to make a sale. They actually seem to care about where these pigs end up.
Yeah, they do.
And that makes me even more interested in what they have to say about pig care.
Huh.
They claim that pigs can be trained just like dogs, even faster in some cases,
Wow.
and that they respond to over 40 commands.
That's amazing.
I know, right?
Now, that's where pig intelligence really shines. It's not just about learning tricks.
Right.
It's about them solving problems, figuring things out, even displaying a degree of emotional intelligence.
Wait, emotional intelligence, like they have feelings beyond just happy or hungry.
Exactly. They can sense your mood, respond to your emotions, and even form complex social bonds. Think about it. They've evolved to live in groups,
Folks.
so they're naturally attuned to social cues and dynamics.
Okay, that is mind-blowing. So
Yep.
we've got a pet that's smart, clean, emotionally aware. Are you telling me they're the perfect pet? Because I'm starting to feel like there's got to be a catch.
Well, no pet is truly perfect, right? And pigs definitely come with their own unique challenges. One of the things the website stresses is the importance of mental and physical stimulation for pigs.
Okay.
They need space to roam things, to explore activities that keep them mentally engaged.
So no sticking them in a tiny apartment with just a food bowl and a water dish. Got it. What kind of enrichment are we talking about?
Think puzzle feeders,
Yeah.
digging boxes, even just a pile of leaves to read around in.
Okay.
Anything that taps into their natural behaviors and keeps them mentally stimulated.
You know, it's funny because when I think of pig activities, I picture those cute videos of them running around obstacle courses or playing with toys. But you're right, it's about meeting their needs, not just our entertainment.
Exactly. And that's where responsible ownership really comes in.
Right.
It's about understanding their nature, not just projecting our own ideas onto them.
So let's circle back to the website for a second. They have this whole section titled, "What is a teacup pig?" And they basically admit that the term is a marketing gimmick.
Right.
There's no standardized definition, and each breeder seems to use different names, which sounds incredibly confusing.
It is. And that's why it's so important to do your research. Ask the right questions.
Yeah.
And be wary of breeders who make unrealistic promises.
Right.
Don't fall for those cute pictures or catchy names.
So what should someone look for in a reputable breeder?
Transparency is key. They should be upfront about the expected size and temperament of their pigs
Okay.
and offer ongoing support. It's also a good idea to visit their facility, observe the living conditions, and meet the parents of the piglet you're considering.
It's like adopting any pet, really.
It is.
You want to make sure it's coming from a healthy, loving environment and that the breeder has the animal's best interests at heart.
Exactly. And remember, owning a pig is a long-term commitment.
Yes, it is.
They can live for 15 years or more.
Wow.
So you need to be prepared for that kind of responsibility.
Speaking of responsibility, let's talk about the practicalities.
Sure.
What kind of housing, feeding, and vet care do these guys need?
Well, pigs need a safe outdoor space with shelter, as well as a comfortable indoor area. Their diet should be a mix of high-quality pig feed,
Okay.
fresh produce, and hay. And just like any other pet, they need regular vet checkups.
It's a lot to take in,
Yeah.
but it sounds like the rewards of pig ownership could be pretty incredible if you're prepared to put in the effort.
Absolutely. Pigs are known for their loyalty, their intelligence,
Yeah.
and even their sense of humor. They
Yeah.
can be incredibly enriching companions.
It's funny, but I always thought of pigs as farm animals.
Mm.
The idea of them being cuddly pets is kind of blowing my mind. I have to admit, I'm starting to see them in a whole new light.
That's the beauty of learning, isn't it?
Yeah.
We challenge our preconceived notions and open ourselves up to new possibilities.
So we've talked about the practicalities, but now I'm even more curious about the ethical side of things. Is it truly right to keep an animal that's traditionally been considered livestock as a pet?
That's a complex question with no easy answers. There are strong arguments on both sides of the issue,
Yep.
and it's a discussion worth having.
I think that's a perfect segue into our final part of this deep dive. We'll explore those ethical considerations in more detail, delve deeper into the unique joys and challenges of pig companionship, and leave you with some food for thought. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been kind of unpacking this whole teacup pig thing, and I got to say, my initial image of tiny pigs just chilling in teacups has been completely shattered.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good thing, though. It
Yeah.
means we're moving beyond the superficial.
Right.
And getting to the heart of what it means to really share your life with a pig.
Exactly. And right before the break, we were starting to touch on this ethical debate surrounding pig ownership.
Right.
Is it truly right to keep an animal that's traditionally been considered livestock as like a house pet?
Yeah,
It's a tough one.
it is. And there are valid points on both sides.
Right.
On one hand, pigs have been domesticated for thousands of years.
Right.
They've coexisted with humans in various ways, and they can form strong bonds with people.
Right. And they can be trained. They seem to genuinely enjoy human companionship. And let's be honest, they're incredibly intelligent.
Right.
So it's not like inherently wrong to keep them as pets.
I agree.
However, we also need to acknowledge that pigs have specific needs
Yeah.
that can be difficult to meet in a typical home environment.
Mhm.
They need space to roam
Mhm.
and root. They have very specific dietary requirements,
Yeah.
and they could live for 15 years or more.
Right. A long time.
So it's not a decision to be made lightly.
No.
It's a huge responsibility.
Yeah, you really got to think about it.
You can't just bring a pig home because you think it's cute. You need to be fully committed to providing for its needs for its entire life.
Absolutely. And that's where the potential for ethical concerns arises.
Right.
Are we, as humans, truly equipped to give these pigs the kind of life they deserve? Are we fulfilling their needs, or are we imposing our own desires on them?
It's interesting because the website we've been discussing, Angel Enterprise Farm, they do a good job of acknowledging this.
Yeah, they do.
They emphasize responsible ownership and encourage potential pig parents to really consider a pig's needs before they, take the plunge.
Right. And they even encourage people to visit their farm, interact with the pigs, and get a realistic sense of what it takes to care for them.
Yeah.
That kind of transparency is so important in the world of exotic pet breeding.
I agree. It's about making informed decisions, not just getting swept away by that cuteness factor.
Right.
But let's say someone does decide to welcome a pig into their life. What can they expect? What are like the unique joys and challenges that come with pig companionship?
One of the most appealing things about pigs is their affectionate nature. They love to cuddle, they crave physical contact,
Right.
and they're known for forming really strong bonds with their humans.
I've seen those videos of pigs snuggling on couches and demanding belly rubs, and it's pretty adorable.
It is.
But the website also mentions that their trust and respect must be earned, which suggests they're not just mindless cuddle machines.
Exactly. Pigs are intelligent creatures with their own distinct personalities.
Yeah.
They can be stubborn, they can be demanding.
Yeah,
And let's be honest, they can be quite mischievous at times.
I can see that.
You got to be patient, consistent, and willing to put in the effort to build a trusting relationship.
So it's not a relationship for the faint of heart.
I would agree with that.
But for those who are willing to embrace the challenge, it sounds like pig companionship can be incredibly rewarding.
It really can be. Think about it. You're forming a bond with a creature that's so intelligent, emotionally aware, and has this unique perspective on the world.
Right.
They can teach us a lot about patience, understanding, and appreciating the differences in other beings.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's not about trying to make a pig into something. It's not. It's about embracing its pigness and learning from it.
Exactly. And maybe that's the biggest takeaway from all of this.
Yeah.
The allure of the teacup pig might be what draws people in at first, but the real journey begins when we move beyond those superficial notions and embrace the complexity and wonder of these animals.
That's such a great point. So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, what's like the one thing you'd want our listeners to really remember about teacup pigs?
I think it boils down to this teacup pig is a marketing term, not a guarantee of size.
Right.
These animals are still pigs with all the needs and complexities that come with being a pig,
Yeah.
and they deserve to be treated with the same respect and consideration as any other intelligent feeling being.
Absolutely well said. And if someone out there is seriously considering bringing a pig into their life, do your research, find a reputable breeder,
Right.
and be prepared for a long-term commitment to meeting that pig's physical and emotional needs.
I agree. Don't let the allure of the teacup distract you from the real responsibility of pig ownership.
This has been such a fascinating and thought-provoking deep dive. I know I've learned a ton, and I hope our listeners have too.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.